Hey, and it's Thursday. It's Thursday night. Capital Advantage Tutoring for the Series 7, the SIE exam, Series 6, Series 63, 65. Hut. Okay. I wonder if you guys have to watch. I started adding a teaser video. Tell me if that makes you watch it. Okay. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it works. Maybe it makes you watch it while we're waiting. I have no idea. Welcome to Thursday Night Edition. I don't have it. Nobody sent me questions, which is good. So now the phone is off limits. I'm sure I'll look at it somehow. Welcome for the SIE, the Series 7, Series 6, 65, 66, all that stuff. Okay. Now I'm losing all my. That's funny. Now, Stefan, how are you? Lisa, how are you? Okay. So a couple quick things. There are a couple rules here. I'm going to set the rules out first. One, I made it so you have to be a subscriber. You don't have to be a member, but you have to be a subscriber to ask a question. It's only fair. Again, that's free. Doesn't cost a dime. If you ask a question, you ask one question. Now, Thursdays are always kind of light, especially before Labor Day weekend. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of. Okay. Now, Stefan, I'll talk about negotiated versus competitive, but you got to go watch my Muni spreads video, and that'll explain all the underwriting, the total takedown, and all that crap. But again, welcome. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Stay there. Don't leave. I'm going to pay for the swag. I might as well wear it. Okay, so now. Okay. Everyone, how are you? Okay, but don't sweat it. It's not that big on the test. You remember, Stefan, you're dealing with past perfect. They're crap. Okay, before I get started, I got to do the thing. Okay. So let's talk about a couple things. One, if you want a free Kindle Unlimited trial, 30 days, go down there and hit that up. You can hit the link. If you want some phenomenal tests taking stuff, I'm getting such great feedback on the achievable stuff. Boom, right there. STC, you go down there. There's comprehensive, any exam you got. The problem with achievable is they only do this SIE 7 and the 63 right now. I think Brandon's working on the 66/65. He's got a lot of feedback on that. The 6 probably won't be out till probably the fall. Oh, it is fall. Oh my God, it's almost fall. Probably till the spring. Now, yeah, I love Achievable. I love it. If you guys are bored and you want to watch a podcast, go watch the Real Aging Immaturely one. I think that's on all of them. I like it. It's a buddy of mine. No money. It's free. I'm not getting a dime out of it. I just think he's actually kind of funny. If you're under 40, you might not get all this stuff because they are old like me. If you want tutoring, reach out to me or go out to Michael Weiss at series7examtutor.com. Brandon Rith, I don't think he's doing much tutoring anymore. He's mostly writing on the book, which is awesome. If you want free resources, you obviously have mine. I have the live. I have all my videos. You can reach out to Dean Tinney on his thing, or you can do, and the other one you can do is Brandon Rith at Basic Wisdom. He's the shit. Okay. I think he's as entertaining as I am. The only difference is I curse more. Okay. Michael, I did see, yeah, I agree. Get rid of it. Achievable is much better. Okay. Now, okay, let me start. So Muni underwriting, yes, Stefan, don't sweat it because past perfect. If you understand the basics of the Muni underwriting, you'll be fine. The guy Manny who just took the test the other day said he saw one question on it the whole time, and it wasn't that hard. So the total takedown stuff, if you get it on the video a little bit, that's as good as I'm going to do because I'm not going to do it better than that because I have pictures and everything. But I will talk about firm versus negotiated. So if you do a geo bond, it's almost always going to be competitive. I guess it doesn't actually have to be, but they always will be competitive and firm commitment. So competitive means that I do the official notice of sale for the muni bonds. Again, this is for the Series 7 and the SIE. I do official notice of sale in the bond buyer and announce that I am issuing a bond. I'm New York City. I put like how much I'm going to raise, what it's for, all the little details, call features, crap like that. But the coupon's missing because what determines a coupon is the bidding. So all the people bid on the bond. So all the different syndicates, like, so we have a Goldman syndicate, a Deutsche Bank syndicate. We have UBS. They have groups of broker dealers that work with them, and they all bid on the issue. They put in how much they're willing to pay and what coupon they're going to have to sell it at. And then the issuer has to decide which one is going to be the lowest cost to them. Okay. So competitive is always the issuer is looking for the lowest cost to them. Now, if they also almost always going to do firm commitment, which means the underwriters are guaranteeing the issue. Okay. So the underwriters are guaranteeing the issue. They're absolutely saying, listen, if we win, we're going to guarantee to sell all the bonds. So in reality, they're almost paying for it up front. That's competitive and firm commitment. Negotiated means we bring the people in, we talk to them, we figure out who's going to be who's going to do the best job. And then we pretty much go with the guy who can blackmail us with pictures of us drunk, not with our wife. So just saying. So negotiated would normally be also a best efforts. Best efforts is saying, listen, I'm going to try to sell what I can. I may not be able to sell it all. And whatever I don't sell, I'll give back to you, the issuer. So I'm the issuer, you're the underwriter. I say give 1 million bonds, best efforts. You sell 800,000 of them. I take it and I take the 200,000 back, and you can't sell them. But I can put conditions on it. I can say make it all or none, which means I give you 1 million, you got to do 1 million or don't bother. All or none. Mini max is, look, I want 1 million done, but if you do like 600 grand, I'm okay. Then once you get to the 600 grand, we're a go, and you go for the 1 million. That would also be on a that is going to be, what's the best way to explain it? The mini max would be what they call a contingent offering. Okay, not a contingent deferred sales charge, contingent offering. Contingent offering is that where it's basically contingent on something. Okay, good. I like that. Now, what do I do? Where's my shit? Okay, boom. Okay. Hope that helps. Yes. Open-end mutual shares, Yvonne. Yes. So mutual fund, Yvonne, how are you? Yes. You can vote for certain things on the mutual funds. Okay. Okay. Aaron, that's awesome. That's awesome. You work with Fidelity. I love it. I just was working with a student at Fidelity. They're hiring like crazy, I heard. So all you people who are looking, it's competitive, but go try to get a job at Fidelity. Okay. Schwab's hiring, I think. Fidelity's hiring. It's pressure. It's a hard job, and it's a good job, but you got to, do that. Okay. And congratulations, Aaron. I'm so happy for you. Okay. Okay. Sanche, don't worry about the taxation of active variable annuities too much, but I will talk about it. Okay. Yeah, Alicia, call me tomorrow and we'll discuss. Okay, but also try to get in that. Jacob said there was room, so hopefully he'll reach out to you and get into you get into the study group. Sanchi, okay. Understand something. So variable annuities are a retirement account. They're almost always non-qualified. What the hell does non-qualified mean? Non-qualified means that it goes in after tax and it grows tax deferred. So you make $1 million. Oh, let's say you make 100 grand. You put in 20 grand. You don't get to deduct that off your taxes. It goes in after tax. But then if that 20 grand goes up to 100, you only pay tax on the 80. You don't pay tax on the original 20. Okay. So it's non-qualified. As it grows tax deferred. Everything gets reinvested automatically, tax deferred. Once you hit, this is deeper than the SIE will ever go. Once you hit your age and you want to pull it out, you will only be taxed on the growth portion. At what rate? At ordinary income. Because everything about retirement, everything that has a retirement account is absolutely going to be ordinary income. Okay. Okay. Now, I keep shrinking my stupid screen. Now on the payout side, so if you do an annuity, each payment, say you annuitize, each payment is going to be partially taxable, partially not, because it's reflecting your money going in. If you take all the money out over like maybe a 5 or 10 year period, they're going to do LIFO, which means the growth comes out first and then the principal comes out last. LIFO, last in, first out. Okay. Okay. Nilu, how are you? Jorge, how are you? Okay. Okay. So strategy-based versus portfolio-based. Okay. So now strategy-based. Okay. Now, okay, so I keep shrinking my stupid screen. So strategy-based margin is using other positions to offset. So strategy-based versus portfolio-based. So look, strategy-based is, look, if you buy $5,000 worth of stock, you would have to put down $2,500 in a margin account. I think we agree right now. If I also buy buy 100 shares at 50, I have to put down 2,500 as rate T. That's normal. But if I also buy a 50 put for 2 at the same time, the most I can lose is 200. So I only have to put down 200. So that's strategy based. Okay, strategy based is like if you buy puts or if one position offsets another, you can do that. Usually they're using options to reduce what you have to deposit. That's strategy based. Portfolio based is you look at the entire portfolio and you look at the general risk of that portfolio and determine the margin. You're not going to do it security by security. You're going to say, oh, look, this person has 40% blue chips, 50% this, 30% money markets, 30% whatever. The money markets are not really marginable. But the point is, if they have a lot of safe stuff, the amount of money you'll have to deposit will be less. It's looking at the entire portfolio to determine the general risk, to determine what you have to put down. Strategy based is you're using options or something to hedge it, and that's going to reduce what you have to put down. Okay. Okay. Somebody asked something about nerves. Hold on. Okay. Hope that helps, Sanchi. But remember, relax. Don't worry about the SIE is good. If you're passing your exams, you should be fine. Okay. There you go. So, 1 second. Where are we? So, Alicia, Jacob, scroll back and find. Jacob put his email in there. Okay. Jacob's live. He's not doing it live. I better not be. Hold on. Michael, I agree. I think STC. That's awesome. I love it. No, wait, Michael, are you done now? Totally done with everything? I love it. Okay. That is awesome. Yeah, again, I saw your email before. 80 banker, burn the shit. Don't let that smoke hit you. Okay. Who would be most suitable for a variable life? Someone. Rose, how are you? Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. Michael, that's fine for the 6. Okay. The 6 is going to be easier than both the 63 and the SIE. You could probably study for 2 weeks and get it done. Mitch, awesome. Did you tell me that? You did tell me that, I think, right? That's awesome. Everyone can, if you haven't done it already, I think I'm behind, but make sure that we all congratulate Mitch for nailing the fucking 7. That's awesome. Okay. Variable life policy. That would be for someone who can handle risk. It's life insurance full. It's someone who can afford the premiums, but who can handle risk. They're not averse to risk. Okay. Very true, Aaron. The taxpayers would be pissed if the city hired the most expensive underwriter, but the revenue guys don't care. Okay. Tamer, Japanese company investing in the U.S. They're afraid that the dollar devalue. What would they do? They'd buy calls on the yen. Whoa, what do you mean? Remember, you can't buy. I thought I did. Alicia, oh, that's right. I did. I emailed him. I think I did email him. So hopefully he'll reach out to you. But if not, you now have his email and you can reach out to him. Okay. So if I'm a U.S. exporter, I'm going to buy puts on the yen, and I'll buy. If I'm a U.S. importer, I'll buy calls on the yen. We got that. If I'm a Japanese or another country, I don't buy on the dollar because why? Because you're the greatest fucking country in the world. Remember that. So we don't buy options on our shit. Fuck that. So if I'm a Japanese exporter, I'm worried that instead of buying puts on the yen, I'll buy calls because I'm doing the opposite of what a U.S. exporter would do. So in this case, if I'm a Japanese person, exporter, whatever it is, and I am worried that the U.S. will devalue, I will buy calls on the yen because if the dollar goes down, the yen goes up. So I buy it. I cannot buy it on the U.S. I hope that helps, Tamer. Okay. Helen, correct. Okay. Okay, Mitchell, I'll help you out in a second. Okay. Oh, Jacob's not doing it live. Hope he's just doing his the study group. I'd be a little pissed if he was trying to steal my thunder, Jacob. I'll have to bust your ass. Okay. Let's see. So is this right? Only agents can share the profits and losses of a client account if they have a joint account with the client. Yes, that's true. IAs and IARs cannot do that, but they can do performance-based fees, okay? So IAs and IARs can do performance-based fees, Helen, for what kind of customer? Wow, we have a couple 66s here. I hope Marvin's on here. John Turner is studying. Marvin's a 63, which is a lot of overlap. Helen's doing that. Cynthia's doing that. I think you all should get together and try to do a little study group. Okay. MS, can I rule? Okay, Yvonne, what I'm going to tell you to do, I'm going to help you out because I don't know the numbers and I don't give a shit. Go to, I have a playlist called MSRB rules. I do all 48 or 45 G rules. Boom, boom, boom. So you can actually, I think I did like 24 through 45 on one video. So go check that out. And I think I put chapter exams. You can click right on it. That's the easiest way to do it. And if it doesn't help, I'll grab you on Tuesday. Okay. Well, let's see something. Oh, the political shit. Okay, that's easy. I can talk about that, Yvonne. I'll do that. So instead of reading it yet. Okay. I know I'm kidding, Stefan. I'm just fucking. I love Jacob. He's a great guy. So now, G37 is a political. So MFPs, who are municipal financial professionals, cannot give more than $250 per election to a political candidate that they can vote for. If they can't vote for it, they can't give a dime. What happens if they give too much? Then they get kicked out of doing negotiated offerings for that area for 2 years. So does the firm. And then if they go to another firm during that 2 years, that firm's blocked out too. Here's a couple of nuances to it. One, if you have a joint account and you both sign it, half the amount counts toward the person. If you have a joint account and only you sign it, the entire amount counts toward you. That's all it is. You can't give more than $250. Okay, Rose, there's a guy, Marvin. I don't know if he's on here. I'll try to hook you up with him. If you email me, Rose, if you want a study partner, I'll hook you up with Marvin. You guys can talk to you. And then John Turner, I don't know if he's on here or not. If he comes on now, it's because his ears are ringing. He's doing the 66. So there's a lot of people doing the 66. And remember something. Most people who do the 66 struggle with the state stuff the most, which is the 63. So you guys can actually all get together and do this. It's not a bad idea. Okay. Right. Nilo, do you remember the question? Yes, Helen. I love it. Qualified clients. Awesome. So the question was, IARs and IAs can do performance-based fees for what kind of clients? It's qualified clients, which means they have at least 1 million under management or 2.1 million net worth. Either one of those works. Okay. Can I go for ETNs? Lisa, I just did it. Variable life. Variable life is someone who can take risk. Death benefit is what somebody gets when they die. Don't obsess on the insurance. I know somebody said it wasn't that heavy. Variable life, if you see the word variable, one, it's a security. Two, it has what do you call it? It has market risk, so they can take some risk. And the death benefit and a death benefit may change, go up or down based on the return, but there will be a guaranteed minimum death benefit. What's a death benefit? When somebody dies, they get the death benefit. Okay. I'll go quickly over ETF, ETN, mutual funds. Okay. So under the Investment Company Act of 1940, okay, under the Investment Company Act of 1940, there's face amount certificates, unit investment trusts, and management companies. Face amount certificates, just know they're there. Don't worry about it. You'll never get a test on it. UITs are not usually securities. They're just packaged products that don't have a very variable return. Management companies. There's open-end and closed-end. Open-end is a mutual fund. Open-end, I have a massive 48-minute video on mutual funds. So go watch it. It's called How to Pass the Series 6 and 7. Okay, I have a massive one on that and annuities. That's 48 minutes. I would be on here till midnight talking about mutual funds. But understand the big thing about mutual funds is that it's actively managed and the NAV is done once a day. Once a day? That's 2 points once a day. So it's actively managed. And the NAV is done once a day. You buy it at NAV plus a sales charge. It's redeemable, not tradable. Now, ETFs and ETNs are redeemable. An ETF is a type of open-end fund, but it acts like a closed-end fund. Means it trades during the day. Okay, so you can buy it at the market price plus or minus a commission, or plus a commission or a markup. You can sell it at the market price or the bid. You buy it at the ask, sell it at the bid, just like that. You can trade it during the day. You can buy it on margin. You can sell it short. ETFs and ETNs, as far as an investor goes, they probably seem like the same thing traded. Buy it the ask, sell it the bid, on margin, short it, all that stuff. It trades like a stock. Now, an ETF is a packaged security. It has a bunch of securities in it. They're in here, and they go up and down based on the index they're tracking. But they're not actively managed. They're passively, which means they have 10 stocks in here, and one of the stocks goes crazy higher than the rest. Every quarter, they'll just rebalance them back to make them equal. Okay. Now, that's what an ETF is. You can buy a leverage. You can buy inverse. Like you can buy an inverse, which means it goes opposite of the market. You can buy a leverage, which means it goes 2 or 3 times what the market does. ETNs, you can do the same thing, leverage, inverse, all that stuff. An ETN is not equity though. So ETN is a debt. Note means debt. That means I'm a financial institution like Bank of Montreal, and I'm going to say, lend me money, lend me $50 or $1,000, whatever the number is. But I'm going to pay you back in like 30 years, 20 or 30 years. I'll give you your $50 back or whatever it is. The interest rate you're getting, we don't know what it is going to be based on the stocks you're tracking. So if we're a guy bought the FANG stock, so it's the FANG ETN. So basically, my rate of return, if I can sell it whenever I want, but if I hold it to maturity, I'm going to get my $50 plus or minus whatever those 4 stocks are up or down during that period. So if they're up 2,000%, over that time, I'll get 50 plus 2,000%. If they're down over the time, I'll actually get less than my money. So an ETN is debt. It does have market risk, but the biggest risk it has is default risk because it is debt. So you might have to worry that they won't have the money. But ETN and ETFs trade during the day. They're volatile. They're pretty liquid. You can buy them at the ask, sell them at the bid. Okay, so I hope that helps, Nilu. Okay, but again, mutual fund, watch my damn video. Now, here's the thing. Dude, this comes down to Mitchell. How much help do you need? Do you need the videos? Remember, I don't work for them. I just help, you can buy the stuff through my link. The Premier Plus has everything. If you really need help with it, if you don't care about the extra $100 or whatever, get the Premier Plus, because then you get a lot. I think you might get more questions. You get the videos, you get everything there. If you don't, just drop down to the Premier. Like, I don't know what the difference between them is, but you have to look and say, do I need all the videos? I do think on-demand videos help. I think my shit helps too, but I do think the on-demand videos help a lot. Okay. You guys let me off easy tonight? 23 minutes? Not bad. Okay. Let's see if anyone. I will actually break my own rule and see if anyone bugged in here. So somebody had an idea that what I should do is have the people who passed call in and they can talk. That's an interesting one. And maybe I'll put a big thing up here as a Cap Advantage tutoring, push my own shit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I had a couple of people take it today, and they did well, and they came back and they were talking about. By the way, before I get on this, did anyone of you see a video when you logged in, like a 2 or 3 minute video? Because it said to set it up as a trailer, so I don't know what happened is. Yeah, I'm going to try to write a book. Trust me. If you want me, I write a book. If you think I'm smart, you're going to start thinking I'm done. I'm dumb now because I have no grammar skills at all. I'd have to have a ghostwriter. I can get somebody to just take my videos and put them in book form, which would be interesting. But I mumble, so they'd have to rewrite all this shit. Anyway, so now, a couple people, what they said. One kid said he saw almost 45 option questions. Very easy. He said the math is not that much. Okay. Yes, I can, Lisa. I can do that. Okay. So, Stefan, FIFO and LIFO. Lisa, you should be getting off here and going to sleep because she's taking the test soon at some point, but I think you should get some sleep, starting to get sleep. I'll do this, and then you got to go. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's a great question. I think it's going to be, I think it's M1, but I'll come back to that. Okay. So now, when do I use FIFO versus LIFO? Okay. So when you're trading and you don't mention a method, you use FIFO. So if you buy and sell stock, because sleep is important, if you buy and sell stock, okay, and you do not mention a method, they're going to use FIFO, which is first in, first out, which gives you the most. I'm trying to think about that M2 thing. It's really bothering me because it might be, if it's, it might, put it this way, if M2 changes, then they both change. But I have to think about that. That's a great, did you see that on an exam or in a stupid vendor, Sanche? Because if you're taking the SIE or whatever, there's no shot that's on the fucking test. That's too deep. Okay. Or it's a test one. Helen, maybe one Roman numeral. I'm going to get to your Stefan in a second. There's only one Roman numeral, maybe one or two Roman numerals, and maybe one or two math problems on the whole thing. They make it seem like it. Yeah, don't sweat that. Kaplan goes way too deep. That's why I push Achievable and I push STC, because I think they have the right mix. Even training consultants is okay for the SIE. Let me go back up. So FIFO is for trading. So if you trade and don't mention a method, you do FIFO. You can choose, if you're trading and you, for this SIE and the 7, if you want to choose what stocks you sell, you can do specific share identification. On regular shares, you can't do average price, okay? You have to do either FIFO or specific share identification. Technically, if you sell your entire position, you can average it out, because how else would you do it? Now, LIFO is for retirement accounts. LIFO would always be for non-qualified retirement accounts, like, you know, like an annuity or something like that. Because what they do is they're going to take out your growth first, and then the money you put in last. The other thing that's FIFO is if you have an insurance policy and you take the money out, they do it FIFO. They take your contribution out first and then your growth. Okay. Now, breakpoint schedule. So breakpoint schedules are rights of accumulation. We did this today, so I hope you remember. So now, breakpoint schedule is basically the schedule for your discounts, right? So if you go into a mutual fund, and you put in a certain amount of money, there's a schedule there, like maybe every 25 grand, they lower your sales charge. Because if you put in, say, under 25,000, you pay 8.5%. If you put between 25,001 and 50,000, you pay 7.5%. Okay. No, Stefan, I'll get to you. So that would be a 403B, but they can be whatever they want. So now between 25 and 50, pay 7.5. Between 50 and 75, you pay 6. So the more you put in, the less you pay. So breakpoints, okay, breakpoints are when you hit a certain level of investment, they lower your sales charge. Now, what we talked about before, and you know this, Lisa, is that if you put in just below a breakpoint and you don't tell the person, hey, you could put in more money, it's going to be a breakpoint sale, which is a violation. Now, rights of accumulation works with this, right? So rights of accumulation, first of all, if someone's under the breakpoint, you can say, listen, put a letter of intent. We can backdate it 3 months or even go forward 13 months. And you put it basically a letter of consent. Letter of consent is letter of intent. Jeez, it's late. Letter of intent says, listen, I'm putting in 20 grand. I know the breakpoint's 25, but I think I'm going to get another 4 or 5 grand, maybe 7 grand over the next year or so. So let me sign a letter of intent now. And I do that, you're going to give me the lower breakpoint for all the money I put in, assuming that I'm going to make the letter of intent. Now, you cannot meet the letter of intent rules by growth. You actually have to contribute money into the account to get the letter of intent. And any withdrawals you take, your distributions will lower what you put in. So that's letter of intent. And then what happens is the rights of accumulation says, oh, let's say the breakpoint's 25 grand and you put in 20, you're below. You paid your 8.5%. If the value of the fund on its own grows above 25 grand, any new money you're putting in, new money is going to get that lower breakpoint. That's all rights of accumulation is. It's just giving you the right that if the stock grows, we'll give you a breakpoint on the new money, not your old money. Okay. Stefan, can a variable annuity be qualified? We got a question on qualified variable annuity. Never saw anything like it. So here's the thing. If they say it's a qualified annuity, then it's a qualified annuity. And all that means is that it's usually a 403B, but it's normally really going to be that it's pre-tax contribution, which means when you take the money out, you pay tax on every penny of it. Remember that. And they would have an RMD. Non-qualified annuities do not have RMDs, okay? Qualified annuities will. Boom. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Lisa, go to bed. Get off of this. Get off of this live and go get some sleep. Okay. Okay. Okay, Christine, your first question, don't bother watching what you just said. Okay. When can someone borrow money from a client? Is it agents, reps can only borrow from? Okay, this is a great question. Okay. When can someone borrow from a client? Agents, reps can only borrow from a client who is in the business of lending. That's true. So let's talk about agents. So this would be for the 63, 65, 66. An agent / rep. So the state, FINRA uses the word register rep. Agents, there you go, Stefan. Agents use register. So agents are register reps. FINRA use register rep. The states use agent. Okay. Boom. So Stefan, that's a good one. So under FINRA's rule, they have to contribute an equal amount. Under state rules, they don't require that. They just have to contribute. So Stefan asked a question. Agents can only share in profits and losses if they contribute an equal amount. Correct. Okay. Under FINRA rules, not equal amount. It has to be proportionate to their, it's not equal amount. It has to be proportionate to what they take out. So if I had an account with you, Stefan, and I'm your agent, if I put in 30 and you put in 70, I get 30% of profits, you get 70. That's a FINRA rule. The states don't have that built in there, but pretty much since all agents are also work for broker-dealers, which are FINRA members, they have to follow the FINRA rule. Okay, now, agents and broker-dealers can borrow and lend from clients, okay? So a broker-dealer can lend to a client. It's called margin. They can borrow from a client or an affiliate of the firm if they have to, or they can borrow from a lending institution. Remember, anyone can lend from a lending institution that's a customer. Anyone, IA, IAR, all of them. IAs and IARs cannot lend to people unless they're a lending institution or they're in the business of doing it, which is just what it is. They don't get the family exception. So if you have the 66 and you're working for an IA, as an IAR, you cannot lend money. Remember, if your brother wants to borrow money and he's not a client, you can do whatever you want. This is talking about people who were clients and you want to borrow or lend money. Peter, that's awesome. Peter, congratulations. That's awesome. So I assume you're taking the six after this. After the 65, you're taking the 6, because normally people who take the 63, 65 combo are going for the Series 6 after, which should be pretty easy. Not easy, but compared to the SIE and these other exams. So again, agents can borrow and lend. So who can agents borrow and lend from? They can lend to their family, immediate family member, on the SIE and 7 and all the other licenses, you get this. Agent / register rep can lend to family members. Remember, this is for customers. Family members, lending institutions, affiliates, people you have relationships outside the firm. Now, if you're lending to family members, you don't even need to tell the firm. But everyone else, you have to, if you're lending money to a customer, you have to let the firm know, make sure they're okay with it. You don't need permission. You need to let them know. If you're borrowing money, like say your customer is Bank of America. Okay. Yeah, Sean, that's fine. You can be on here. I mean, just listen. You can if you have a 63 question. And I just did some of those, but I do all the exams. It just every night's different. Okay. I just did a couple of 63 questions too, which should help. But yeah, the end of September is probably good. Okay. Agents can lend. So the thing is, let's say Bank of America is your customer and you want to get a mortgage to the Bank of America. You didn't need to tell them, just get a mortgage. As long as it's done what they call an arm's length transaction. An arm's length transaction is where you're doing it under their normal underwriting process. Okay. 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 What should I focus on the Series 7? No worries. Okay. Hey, Regina, how are you? What should I remember, guys? A couple of things. If you're not, you don't have to be a member. Yeah, you can ask. No. You can ask as many as you want. You just have to do one at a time. Once I answer your question, you can do an next one. That's one of the rules. You can answer as many questions as you want within reason. I'm gonna have to go to bed at some point, but you can ask one question, and once I answer it, you can ask another one. Regina, I'll work on that. And remember, if you're trying to ask questions and you're not a subscriber, which doesn't cost a fucking dime, you have to be a subscriber to ask a question. This way, I figured that's a fair trade-off that you're a subscriber and I asked your question. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yes, I can do that. Lisa, why are you still awake? Okay. So now, Regina, what should you focus on the Series 7? Okay. Now, what you should focus on for the next 2 weeks, you got to make sure that you're good with the, don't blow off customer counts. You'd be surprised that it's on there. Everyone thinks it's on the SIE. The 65 could be harder than the 63. Okay. Suitability, obviously, taxes, communications. I have a communications video. Everyone who's taking the 7 in the next week or so, go watch my communications video. It will fucking help. I got to put it in the must watch for the Series 7. Go through my Series 7. I have a playlist, Regina, that says must watch Series 7. Start going through that one, and I'll tell you, give some advice, and it has stuff. Okay. Boom. I love it. You don't remember, that's awesome. I'm not begging anyone to be a member. It's great if you do. You do not have to do it. All these lives, and then you'll get them. So I'm just saying, it sounds like I push that sometimes, but I'm not. I mean, it's great that we do it, and I think it does help. So it's kind of fair trade-off. I get paid for giving you guys time during the day. Now, so work on suitability, work on taxes. Okay. Again, Regina. I'm kidding. That was me doing it. So work on suitability, work on taxes. Make sure you watch my communications video and get that down. Do some munis. Make sure the bonds are there. But make sure you understand all the products, like why someone would buy it and why someone wouldn't. Remember that. You always want to know why someone will buy it and why someone wouldn't. That's the big thing. And don't focus on too many tests. With 10 days ago, you should be taking tests just to see where you are. But don't freak. Just make sure you go over them in detail. Even after you finish an exam, go over the right and the wrong. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that, Sanjay, but you, well, I didn't say, I just said what I had to say. I'm just saying I wasn't begging you to join. That's all. Okay. Order of liquidation. This is easy. Now, everyone's going to come at me when I say this. Taxes and wages are normally first, but since each state and each place has their own rules, I'm leaving taxes and wages out of it. It's always secured, then unsecured. And if below that, you can have subordinated debentures, which is subordinated unsecured, preferred common. That's it. Secured, unsecured, preferred common. If you deal with Kaplan and STC, they say one thing about the taxes and wages, and past preference says another. Here's my deal on this. Depending on how it's done, taxes and wages can either be before secured or after. So they will not ask it because it's not a testable question. They can't ask that because it depends on the company. Now I'm going to add one more thing. Liquidation of a limited partnership. Secured, unsecured, LP, GP. So it goes first is secured, then unsecured, then LP, then GP. That's for a limited partnership. And for a firm, it's secured, unsecured, preferred, common. Okay. Now, Sanchi, okay. So, okay. Alicia, I have a video I just did on types of orders. Go do that. The reason sometimes guys send you the videos instead of doing here is because I use a whiteboard and I put it up there. I actually have a types of order video that I actually shared on the last one that will help you. I promise you. Okay. It'll really help you. Okay. And it's not deeper. It's not so much deeper for the 7. It'll be there, but not crazy. Now, another practice test question. If a nation's GDP over the past 4 quarters came in at 2, at 1, at -2, and -1. Okay. So what they're probably trying to trick you into is that it's into recovery because it's not going down as much. I would say it's a recession probably because it's 2 quarters of negative GDP. But if you want to really be tricky on this, so here's what happened. So Sanjay says 4 quarters came in at GDP at 2% positive, 1% positive, -2, then -1. So by definition, 2 straight quarters of negative GDP is a recession. But if you want to be tricky and they're being shitheads, it's -2, then -1. So maybe we're going to trough and start heading up again. Who the hell knows? Okay. Maybe we're heading into trough, but it's going to be recession because it's 2 straight quarters of negative returns. So Alicia, we'll talk tomorrow, but go find my types of order video. It's maybe from a few, yeah, right. So you could see why it's recovery, but it's not. Okay. So yeah, go watch my types of order one. It's maybe from 2 weeks ago. It's like 12 minutes long. It's really going to help you. It really will, Alicia, especially because I put it on the chart. And if you don't get it, watch it before we talk tomorrow and we can figure it out. Okay. I love it. Okay. Guys, if you have another question or two, I can stay, but maybe I'll go actually maybe eat my last dinner. Remember, guys, while I'm talking, if you like this stuff, go down and buy the Achievable. I fucking love them. STC is awesome. They're a little more expensive. Look, and if you already have STC and Achievable, you want questions, go to Kaplan. And if you want a discount, go reach out to Michael Weiss on the Series 7. Michael Weiss at Series 7 Exam Tutor. He can probably get you a code to get you a discount, okay? So let's talk about free resources again. There's some apps that you can do. I don't know how good they are. If you watch my SIE resources video, you can see that there's, maybe I'll try to put the link here. I can't do it now. I have to do it on post. Ooh, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I have to do it after I change. There's some from apps out there. They're I mean, none of them are really free. They all cost about $10, so it's not that great. Great. If you already have a program and you need more questions, go get the Achievable. Okay. I am probably doing Sunday after. I'm probably going to do Sunday. Okay. Bill. Whoa. I love it. That is awesome. How was it? That's awesome. Stefan, I'm probably going to do one or the other. I think I'm going to do Sunday only because one of the students said she even works on Labor Day Monday. So I'm probably going to do it. But I'll probably do it Sunday night. So see if you guys can get in on it. Okay. Oh yeah, for the any of the principal exams, I like STC because they don't overdo the math. Yes. Okay. Well, I know. So Bill, I'll get to so Vishal, yeah, taking the 63, the 86, 87. Those are fun tests, right? Those are all those are fun. But I do think STC is better because that's what they do. I mean, look, if your firm pays for Kaplan or Notman, you're totally fine. I think Past Perfect is a tough one because they're going to go deeper than you need to. But I think if you get STC, Vishal, or Kaplan, whatever they give you, or Notman, you're going to be fine. Okay? They're not super duper hard. I sort of remember, I can't remember which is the harder one. I think 86 is more math, 87 is more regs. I can't remember which one is which. Okay. Yeah, Bill, I get it. There are definitely people who walk in there, they take the test, and they go back and ask the proctor, yeah, they come back and they say, "Oh my God!" They asked the proctor if they had if they got the wrong test or not. I had one kid. He went up there. She actually was positive she got the wrong test. She passed, but she was just like, "This is so wrong." And then she got into the group and she was fine. It's amazing that sometimes you're like, "What the hell's going on?" Okay. Aren't distributions from a non-qualified variable separate account before age 15 not taxable? No, anything. So if you take money out of the, okay. Let me cover this for a second. Okay. So no, they aren't any the growth. Remember, it's going to come out LIFO, right? So if you have a variable annuity, you're going to probably pay a surrender charge. But if you take the money out, you are paying fucking taxes on it. On the growth portion. The principal portion you probably get back, you're going to pay taxes plus a penalty. Anytime you take money out of a retirement account, it's taxes plus penalty. Okay. So Bill, Notman is don't read. Notman is good. They go a little deep. They go a little too deep, but it's fine. They worry about the math too much. Okay. Rebecca, training consultants for what tests? For the SIE, it's okay. For the rest of them, you can still get by, but I would find a supplement. Okay. So if you have Notman, not Notman, if you have training consultants for the SIE, you can get by. Just got to know everything. If it's for the 7, you still got to know everything. But I would think about a supplement like the Achievable STC. You can get Kaplan questions for $60, whatever. Okay. Now, STC, I like. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so Vishal, thank you. I love it. If it's STC, be good. Okay. Now, Azucena, I think Azucena Rios. I think. Okay. I'm horrible with names. I can't even name my own kids. Okay. So you need to pass the SIE quick. Okay. So here's the thing. So if you don't have books, go on my link and buy the Achievable. It's solid. Everyone, and that's just on me pushing. If you really want to know that I care, that I want to say you do this. Go off of me, type in Vishal, the 7 is like the SIE on speed. As a candidate, I'll get you. I think, am I saying it right? Asakana or Asasana? Okay. Let me get to that in a second. So Vishal, the 7's a lot harder than the SIE, a lot harder. But if you're in the business, if you do the 86, 87, and then you should be fine. It's just a lot more suitability and more deeper in the options. Okay. So here's the thing. So for the SIE, so Rebecca, first of all, I don't know what test you're taking. If it's the SIE, you'll probably be fine. If it's a 7, find another vendor to help you out. Now, Helen's 100% right. Now, Azasina. So if you don't know where to go watch some of them. The good thing is you can get STC. I have a link here. You're fine. If you want to go a little cheaper, you get the Achievable here. It's like $79. It's awesome for the SIE. Awesome. If you don't want to go that and your firm's paying for it, there's Kaplan, there's Notman, okay? And then there's Pest Perfect. All of them are fine. I do think Pest Perfect takes you a little deeper down the road than you need to. I also think, funny, Caleb, I was talking about you before. Oh, was I talking? Oh, by the way, Caleb bought my mouse pad. I still have to put a picture up of him showing that he bought my swag. Okay. STC is good. I like Achievable. I have links for them. Kaplan, I don't have a link. I think they're fine. Notman, they're fine. I think they go a little too deep. Past Perfect definitely goes too deep. Training Consultant kind of goes a little light on the material, but you can still pass the SIE. For the 7, you're going to need help with that. Okay. Good thing taking naps. I like you taking naps at the end of the day. It's really healthy for you. Okay. So now, Regina, should I get the Achievable, stick with your videos, and keep taking tests from Kaplan? Which test? Okay. Regina, what test? I forgot what test you're taking. Boom, boom. Oh, for the 7. Okay, you're taking the 7. I think if you have, who do you have, Regina? You have Kaplan stuff. Okay, you can get listen. I say get the Achievable. It's $140 and it's worth it. It's more questions, okay? It's much more questions, okay? So, Regina, I think, look, you can get through with the Kaplan and my videos and reading and stuff. That will help. If you want to get the Achievable, I don't think it'll help. It'll give you another 3,000 questions to do from a different style. It's a good mix because I think Kaplan's too complicated and I think Achievable's right on there, maybe a little easier. But I think between the two, you get used to a different style and they explain things pretty well. I think it's worth getting, but again, it's your money, not mine. So, okay. How is a 66 compared with a 7? Anyone who's taken it, that's a better question for them because I want to hear what other people say. Because I think the 66 was hard enough, but I also know this stuff better, and I'd rather get it from someone who's still learning. Okay. 12B1 plan provides deduction of distribution and advertising expenses from your NAV. It's taking it out of your returns. So if you return 8% in the end at 12B1, they take it out of your NAV, so it reduces your return. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I tell people. So my students' option, they like the kid today, Manny, he passed it yesterday. He called me up and he goes, I had 40 options. I felt like I got every one of them right because that's what I do with people. And I go, a couple people buy my videos for that. That's great. They will help you. And he said that's really good. It really gets you through it. A lot of people struggle with options. A lot of people are surprised with that there's more preferreds than they think. And then it's just a lot of people struggle with the 7. It's the wording. Okay. It's the wording. Okay. It's how they word things differently. And you have, like he said, there's at least 15 questions where you kind of get it. You just got to work your way through it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Right. So Kayla's also a smart guy. Okay. I do agree. I think STC and Achievable are better for the 7. I'm hearing that Kaplan is really solid for the 66 because they do it. So this is what one of my students says. Kaplan does a better job of explaining the state regulation stuff, and STC does a better job of explaining the portfolio managed stuff. But the good thing is if you get Kaplan, I do the STC, the Series 66 quick and dirty, which is the back half of the portfolio management stuff, which is what Kaplan does not do a good job with. Okay. That's funny, Helen. You had 3, and then the kid today said he had 40. It's all stuff. Okay. Boom, Sanchi, get some sleep. Absolutely get sleep. And then jump on Tuesday and tell us how you did. You're going to rock it. Sleep is so important. Okay. Guys, everyone. Oh, Regina, 7. Yeah. So I think this, I don't know if I'm behind or not. So before I go, I want to know, did anyone have to watch a 2 or 3 minute video that I put up? Let me know. If you didn't, that's great. I just don't know how it works with that trailer thing. I got to ask how it works. Yeah, the SIE will only have 1 or 2 at best. Stefan, thank you. Have a good night. And Stefan, you got to put my shit out there to all the. I know you're doing it, but I heard that Fidelity just hired 50 more people. Oh, you had. Yeah, did you have to watch the video? Did I make you watch the options video? Love it. Okay. Good. I love it. That's awesome. So that should help a little bit, I guess. I'm just trying to. I don't know what it means. So I'm working on it. Hey, everyone. Alexis, thank you. Have a good night. I'm going to head out. Again, if you guys want some free resources, go on my channel, Basic Wisdom, Dean Tinney. If you want, go on Reddit, Series 7 exam, r/Series 7 exam. And Series 7 is the other one. Dean Tinney's running one. Michael Weiss runs the other. Michael Weiss is a great tutor. Send him out there. Go to Basic Wisdom. Check out his stuff. He has some good stuff on there, good videos. If you guys want to buy material, go get the Achievable. I love it. It's super cheap. Okay. I'm working on it, Helen. Do I have a video on the 63? I have a bunch of videos on the 63. And I have a couple where I have one where I'm taking a 63 exam. Go find that. I'm going to work on the 66 video. I finally got permission from the vendor to do it. So I'm going to start. I have to do that and I have to do the 6, but it won't be before. Yeah, I think my video on the 63 is great. I have a few of them. Yeah, it won't help you. It won't be in time for you. You know who's taking it in the next day or two. Everyone, good night. Get out of here. Go get some sleep. Wash your hands. And I got to go eat dinner. Good night.